Good morning. Not really morning. It's 4:09 p.m. on March 30th, 2029 or 2021. I'm back. Hi. Sorry I had to take a hiatus for a while. School was whooping my ass. And on top of that, I just had like no products to review. Like nothing was coming in for a long while. I'm still waiting on my Origin 1X. But Delux actually reached out to me and offered their new m629 mouse. It's not really like a, like the next mouse after the m800. This is just a different shape they have. This is their new mouse. Yeah, they sent it out to me. It's not going to impact my review whatsoever. And yeah, let's get into it. Let's start off with the shape. So the shape is this very unconventional, sometimes with like bad design almost. So like the sides are basically flat. There's almost no comfort curves in them. But then they have these holes like around, like on both sides. You take this off and you also put this part in and it still has the holes. And especially on the side where your pinky is, it's really bothersome. I can see that. It doesn't bother me because I use 131, but I can understand that some people, they'll hold the mouse like this and their pinky will be stuck in that little spot. So that's kind of that's a little fumble that they made. Especially on top of that, there's these slopes on the side. You see how the edge starts here and it slopes pretty quickly straight down like that. Super uncomfortable. It forces your fingers to be higher up on the mouse than you would normally be comfortable doing. So it forces your fingers on the flat side instead of like lower if you usually do that. I also noticed, obviously the sensor is to the side a little bit. I don't know why they would do that. Maybe some engineering error or something, but I would like to see that fixed. It never bothered me, but it was kind of, you don't like to see it. The back hump is pretty good for fingertip, claw, palm, should your hand size allow it. Only thing is that this kind of edge in the back, since it's so like jagged here, I guess, it like hits against your palm. And you definitely notice that, you definitely feel it. Very, very slight finger grooves on the buttons. You can barely notice them, but they are technically there. It's quite a wide mouse as well. It's not thin like a Viper Mini by any means. It's definitely thicker than a G Pro Wireless. It's got a kind of a rear hump. It's not that big of a hump, honestly, but it's kind of got a rear hump. It's generally high mouse overall, but it's got a rear hump like right about here, and then it gradually slopes down and then just plops down there. And obviously, like I said, this is the symmetrical piece. This is technically a quote symmetrical mouse with buttons on the left only. But you basically take off this magnetic piece and you place this one on, and the only thing that it changes is that it gives you a thumb rest. That's the only difference. I didn't really have a preference to which one I liked. I just used the smaller one. I don't know. I just use the smaller one most of the time because it's smaller feet. And people say that smaller feet equals faster glide. I don't know if that's true, but whatever. Next up, we have the coating, and the coating was another fumble of them. I felt like the side grip coating on the M800 wasn't that bad, and the coating on the main buttons was pretty good actually. But the coating on this is pretty different. The sides are this generally smooth PBT plastic that is just super slippery unless you're like sweating. And the main coating on the body and the clicks, it's really soft plastic. It's very soft to the touch. It feels really nice, but it's not that grippy unless you're sweating. So yeah, that was kind of a fumble. I would have liked to see something a lot grippier, a lot more textured on at least the sides, which is where you're mainly using your grip to adjust your aim. As for the build is actually pretty good. The build is pretty good except for two flaws. I noticed at the end of my use of this mouse that the right click has started creaking pretty badly. This is left click. So yeah, that's kind of unfortunate to see, but hopefully that's just my copy. And then the other fumble that they had was how easy the side buttons are to actuate pressing in the side. It's like, yeah, you don't even have to apply that much pressure. I can do it when actually gripping the mouse. It never happened in game, but you know, it's possible, I guess. No side to side main button wobble either. That's pretty nice to see. It's very minimal. It doesn't really give you much room to move. The side buttons, however, they feel pretty nice, but they have a little bit of wobble to them. They have a little bit of give, and they have quite a bit of post travel as well. No creaking anywhere also, other than the right click. The main buttons are advertised as Omron 20Ms, and they don't really feel that nice. They're almost mushy. They don't have much tactility. They have a high-pitched, quiet click to them, which is, you know, it's a positive, I guess. It's kind of quiet, but it doesn't really feel premium. It doesn't feel nice. I wish they would either go with a different switch, or they would re-engineer their, maybe they would re-engineer their tensioning process. Side buttons feel really good. They're nice and snappy, but they have that wobble and that post travel that I was talking about, as you can see. Quite a bit of post travel. The scroll wheel is, I really don't like it. It's quiet, but it has literally no tactility. You can barely feel the steps. And the click is pretty tactile. Feels nice. Let me do a quick button test. Here's left click. Right click. Middle click. Scroll. Mouse button 4, mouse button 5, and then there's 2 DPI buttons. All of this is configurable in the software as well. So for the sensor and the wireless, it is a 3335, and there is quite a bit of DPI deviation. I actually got, I think, 450 DPI when I set it to 400. I know I'm a boomer. Yeah, 450 DPI at 400. That's pretty significant. Although they have improved some things from the M800, the mouse wakes up from sleep much faster now. No need to click or anything. Basically, when you move the mouse, it'll be woken up. I didn't feel any acceleration. I tested for it, nothing. And no spinouts on any of my pads, the MPC 450 or the GTFX or the GameSense Radar, nothing. And the battery is going pretty strong. It's only at 50%. I've had it with RGB off and 1,000 hertz since I think like mid last week, which is pretty good. I turned on RGB for the video though, because clickbait. As for the feet were pretty bad, honestly. I wish they were at least a thicker or maybe even a pure Teflon or white PTFE. They break in after a while, but they're not rounded, and they still feel kind of scratchy depending on what mouse pad you're using. And also make sure you take out, I think both pieces have some plastic on the mouse feet that you have to peel off before you use it. So in summary, this is I think it's a pretty disappointing mouse. It doesn't have many redeeming qualities. The shape it's an okay shape, but there's so much better you can get, and I wouldn't really recommend this to anybody. But it does give me hope for the future of Delux and their relations with the Western market. It's definitely a quality improvement overall over the M800. I appreciate the initiative to try new concepts like a new shape, like a completely new shape. Not completely, but new design principles. And different thumb rests, removable thumb rests, as well as improving upon the side buttons and different coding. And trying a different coding. It's not a better coding, but having better side buttons in the M800 and different coding. Delux has the right approach to making mice, I think. And while I wouldn't recommend this mouse as it is right now, I think it is a step in the right direction and will only allow Delux to improve further in their future models, as well as their relations with the Western market, since they're a pretty big company in China, but they're kind of branching out to the West now. And I'm glad to see that they're trying new things and they're kind of trying to innovate on a market that's saturated with clones, ironically, like the M800. But I definitely feel like this is a step in the right direction and they can only improve from here. I give this mouse a either a 5.5 or a 6 out of 10, depending on if you have a 131 or a 122 grip, I guess. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend buying this mouse as it is. If anything, I would wait for what they have next, see what they do. But yeah, thank you, Delux, for sending out this mouse. I really appreciate it. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share this video, follow me on Twitter. Love you guys. Bye bye.